So I am heading down to my first RC no prep race. I have a feeling of what to expect, but I've never been to one of these races before. I know these guys take everything extremely seriously. I have no hopes of being competitive at all. I'm actually not even sure what class I'll fit in. So my RC van is a lot like my regular van, where doesn't really fit into any classes. Completely outgunned by the people that I'm racing, and I'll be the happiest idiot to go out first round there is, because I just really enjoy racing. I'm excited to have this van together. There's a box stock class, but I don't know if I'll be able to run in box stock because I don't have the stock body on it. I did bring the stock body, but I'm really not interested in changing the mounts back just to race. Like, I don't care about RC racing per se, I care about racing my van. So, kind of like where I get stuck in big tire and no prep events where I have no hope at all, it's where I can race, and I just want to race my race the way I want to race it. So anyways, much like going to a normal event, mostly untested, completely outgunned, and unfortunately by myself. I am meeting Chris Wise down there. He built an RC body. He widened one as well. And it's gotta be what Dolly Parton felt like when Whitney Houston came out with the cover, because his van is absolutely beautiful. I was very excited about my van until he painted his. And
so the event that I went to is in Lancaster, Ohio, which is about a 2.5-hour drive from me, and it's hosted by the 740 RC No Prep group. The flyer said it was in River Valley Mall, which I assumed was just an abandoned mall in Ohio, but once I got there, I realized that it's actually still a fully functional mall, which is pretty cool. They just use the old movie theater, and it gives the public a chance to come by and see what's going on, and it's great exposure for the group. It's really smart. And a really unique setup. So I knew the RC racers took their races pretty seriously, but I wasn't prepared for just how much it was going to feel like the drag strip. Full pit setups, full timing system with time slips, chip draw. It's a 66-foot indoor track, and these cars are going 1.5 seconds and quicker at over 60 miles an hour. And it doesn't matter how seasoned these racers are, everyone has a hard time controlling these cars. They wreck as much as no prep cars, and they fly through the air as much as radial cars. Being able to line our vans up was definitely worth the trip. I had my wheelie bars set a little high, which is great for the cool factor, but not so much for staying in your own lane. RC time trials are just like regular time trials. Some stuff works, some stuff goes really fast, and everyone's making a lot of adjustments before eliminations. For our second time lining up the vans, I was determined to go A to B, and Chris was determined not to smash his van body. One of us made our goal. Fortunately, he knows a good body man. I know in my intro I said I wasn't going to switch the body over, but Chris and I both decided to switch our bodies back to the stock C10 bodies so we could run the box stock class. Box stock is kind of like the small tire of the RC world, and there was 23 cars entered in box stock versus I think 13 in the Outlaw and maybe 6 in the VXL class. They used carpet squares for a burnout box, and there was a lot of guys that were testing out some track prep as well. Yep, that's a camera, but it'll hold its own too. RC equivalent of forgetting to arm your nitro system is forgetting to turn on your ECM and controller.
Hey, round drag race.
Surprisingly, I was able to make it into the 4th round, but it was a double elimination with 23 cars, and it was a long drive home, so I ended up packing up and leaving before everything was over. But a few days later, the sun came out and the streets started calling, and I learned a very important thing. You need to glue your front tires. Huge shout out to the 740 guys. They run a really good program. I was very impressed, and I'm really thankful that they let me set up cameras and take all this footage. If you find yourself in the Lancaster area on a Saturday, go check them out.